Hey guys, in this video I'm gonna talk to you about how and why I made this. So this shot is what we call the master shot of our new time-lapse film. Back in February in Denmark, we were location scouting at Henrik's place on Google. And Henrik knew this nice walking street in Ximending in Taipei that gets beautifully illuminated when it gets dark. We decided to go for this location for a hyperlapse shot with a local Taiwanese female model to hopefully create something very unique and with a kind of a surreal feel to it. So Henrik contacted Elvi, who's an experienced model, and a few of his friends to come and assist us and help us for the day. And a few months later we arrived in Taiwan and the day came up and we all met. Yay. I've done hundreds of advanced cinematic hyperlapse shots over the past 4 years, but to take this technique and put in another human being that has to be in motion and make it all work out threw me way outside of my comfort zone. But I really wanted to make up my experience with these kind of shots because there really is a lot of creative possibilities in this style. I kind of knew the theory behind putting a model into a hyperlapse, but apart from a single try back in Denmark, I had absolutely no experience how to pull off a shot like this in the real world. So what I did before we started each hyperlapse move was to explain very carefully to Elvi how I thought that she should move throughout the scene. I knew that it was important that Elvi took a step every time that I took one step with my camera, but how fast she should move in and out of the frame each time to make it all look smooth was pretty much done by intuition along the way. And part of the story is actually that a few days earlier had quite a bad fever and I had to go to a local doctor in Kaohsiung and he got me some medicine, but I was still recovering from this ordeal during this day. And also the temperature during this day was around 33 degrees Celsius and the humidity made it feel like 37 degrees. And I'm really not used to that kind of heat.
It's so hot, oh my God!
So my energy level was definitely not at 100% and I can confidently say that I was under a bit of pressure. We managed to shoot some hyperlapses in the Lin Tai area with Elvi moving in the frame so that I could practice a little bit and warm up for the big master shot in Ximending later that day.
Now, when walking in one direction.
The shots turned out great and it was actually interesting to combine my hyperlapse technique with putting Elvi into this very local environment and incorporate this into our film. Our plan for the Ximending shot was to start just before sunset and let the hyperlapse ramp seamlessly from day into night and then let Elvi enter in the frame when I entered the walking street when the light was just right. Then Elvi would move with the pace of my camera and then she would turn around and disappear out into the left of the frame and I would continue through the street towards the big monitor so that we could use that as a transition in post. These urban areas in Taiwan is really packed with people and I have rarely experienced crowded areas like this. But this was part of our plan because we wanted the big crowd to rush around Elvi while she was sharp and in focus in the middle of the frame. Luckily, I had our good helper Yiming to stand by my side to make sure to clear the way so that I could move my camera equipment through the street without any obstacles. I gotta say that people here are very friendly and respectful, so we had absolutely no issues to complete our move. However, we got a lot of attention from bypassers because we were just standing so much out from the crowd, with Elvi in her red dress and with the umbrella and with me with my camera on a long pole, just moving step by step. And we were just walking so slowly down the street, so people didn't really understand what we were up to. At one point, I think that like 10 or 15 people was just standing right behind me and photographing Elvi. The hyperlapse move itself was around 1.5 hours. And Elvi did a fantastic job, and thanks to everyone involved, we pulled off this shot just perfectly.
This is the most crazy shit he ever did. This is like, fuck. Oh my god, this is good. The most planned shot just pulled off. Everything could go wrong, but Jonas just nailed it. Everything just smooth.
Even though it was a bit hectic and stressful during the move, looking back at it all now and watching the hyperlapse, it really puts a smile on my face, and I suddenly realized just how amazing this actually is. A type of shot like this requires so much more effort than just a regular hyperlapse shot of a sunset over a city skyline, which I can do pretty much with my own help. Not only are you working with the environment and the technical aspects of hyperlapse, you're also working with the model, and you're working with assistants that really has to understand the foundation of making a hyperlapse. So the key is really to find the right people with the right dedication for the job, so that I can focus on my craft and put my energy into making the shot come real.